Hi, welcome back to Plus This. I am Kathy Deach.
And I am Nikki Bailey.
And this is going to be a wild ride today.
We already wilding out, y'all.
Already wilding out. Can't keep it together. Can't say something right before we start. Nope. We're going to fall apart. We have to be honest.
Yes, we have to tell you guys, we had to pre-tape this week's episode. We're sorry.
But our guests will absolutely make up for all of that.
My goats.
The non-live quality.
She's actually sitting here right now laughing hysterically and distracting us from our intro.
Dellany Peace is here. I'm wondering if she
done laughed herself to tears at this point, y'all.
It's going really well. She has her own talk show, believe it or not. She has her own.
So we know she can hold it together, at least for that.
That she has been known for at least 30 minutes not crying, laughing.
Not to giggle herself into hysterics.
We're just making this so worse. I love it, though. I kind of love it. We're going to literally let her have an entire segment to sit there and suffer until we actually put a camera on her face. But you might be hearing like little giggles and that aren't us. It's like, it's not like a sound effect. It's actually just Dellany, who we love. She's a content creator. She's an actress. She's a writer. She's one of our Fatch girls in sketch comedy. She's a dancer,
amazing.
Which we're totally going to ask her about as well. So she does all the things all the time. I can't believe that this fit into her schedule, but maybe she didn't sleep at all. So that's probably why she fit it in, because she didn't sleep.
She don't never sleep.
Yeah.
She worked like 45,000 hours a week.
Yes.
So.
With like 8 different jobs.
Yes.
Yes.
She's so lazy.
Yes. She doesn't do enough. She doesn't do enough for a career, for art.
She's terrible. She really doesn't
is.
help anybody. She's
doesn't.
Just lounging around all day. Not
with her dog.
No impact in the world. Just...
Oh, I know.
Obviously, we love her.
Yes, clearly, which is why we're torturing her right now. It's been a fun week, even though it's just Tuesday. Mm-hmm. We have a show on Thursday night, which is why we're pre-taping.
Exactly.
Fatch Comedy has a show
at the Laugh Riot Girl Festival, which is a festival here in LA, comedy festival. So we're super excited. We're doing a show at 7, and then I'm hosting the 9 o'clock show for the festival. So yay.
She's all over it. It's Tao.
It's at Dow Comedy Studio.
Dow Comedy, how do you pronounce it?
T-A-O.
Sorry, guys.
You know, like Taoism.
Like I didn't pick up on that part. I hit the hard T.
She just thought it was just 3 letters.
I hit the hard T. Town.
Town. Comedy town.
I thought it was town.
Ow. Ow, chicka, ow, ow.
That's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun.
And we picked really great sketches to do.
I'm super excited about
for
it.
that.
Yes.
I'm very excited. But that's at 7. So since this ends at 7, we can't be 2 places at once. Right. So get your tickets, get your seat, come early, meet us there.
Hi.
Because it'll be fun. I also, because of you, I got asked
Me?
Because of you,
oh my.
You're so responsible. I got to talk about Plus This with Voyage LA.
Yeah.
And it just came out today, which is so cool.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm a media brand.
You are.
I'm
oh
a
my
media
God.
brand now.
You're like such a brand.
I've like gone beyond influencer, and I'm like a media brand.
Oh my God.
That's what I've decided. With your help.
I saw that on your post that you're a media brand.
Yeah. I feel like a big deal. It was, thank you, Voyage LA. And guys, if you know somebody who deserves to be interviewed, you want to spread the word about them.
Yeah, so
they really spread the love, which is my favorite
Voyage
part.
LA is all about uplifting, inspiring, creative voices in LA. And so they did a feature on me a few weeks ago. I nominated basically everyone in Fatch because because I know a lot of talented, inspiring people. Damn it.
Yeah, and businesses. I got businesses up in there for them.
So check them out.
Yeah, they're good. They're on our page right now. You might have to scroll a little bit because it'll be Thursday, but don't go right now. Actually, don't do it.
Just right.
Wait till
pay attention. You're watching You're watching a show.
Last week we had alluded to it, but we're really going to dig in now about the crazy fat phobia.
Oh my God.
Story.
Yes.
The little nugget who had a little t-shirt on.
Just little Scrunkle Bunny who just the cutest thing you'll ever see in your life. Her mom ordered her a t-shirt of the frog and the something from something. The frog in the tree, what
Frog
was
and
it?
the toad?
The frog and the toad,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Riding a bike,
Riding a bike.
living their best
Adorable.
life.
And she ordered it, but it came underneath, written underneath the t-shirt. It actually came with a little phrase that said, "Fuck the police," which I think is just wonderful to put a kid
Yes,
in
Ryan.
a t-shirt.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
We caught
It's
Ryan
literally
off guard.
it's like a toddler
It's a toddler
shirt.
and it says "fuck the police" on it.
police.
And it's because people have created a meme with the toad and the frog with "fuck the police" underneath it. But this mom didn't order it for that. She ordered it just for the frog and the toad and was surprised at the "fuck the police" at the bottom. So she put her little adorable cutesy in the t-shirt, and people were like, "Oh my gosh, the t-shirt's so funny." And why is your daughter so fat? They legit, people, instead of just enjoying the joke, called this woman out on why her child is chubby. And what?
Her child's like what, 2, maybe 3?
2. Like she's not even like a fully grown human. And so last week we talked a little bit about that list of messages I found about people talking about starving children, basically keeping nutrients from children so that they don't get fat. And this article was like highlighting, look at how adorable and precious this child is, right? There's no reason for anyone to comment on her weight. She ain't even old enough to care about any of that
Ryan
yet.
just confirmed that she's 3. And she
3.
is gorgeous and adorable
Yeah.
and like kids should be.
Yeah.
Like she's what, like every kid should be what they are.
What exactly?
Why are we starting it so young?
Yeah.
And why is it something that people feel like they have a legitimate right to do? We don't tell anyone about anything except weight.
Yeah.
Like if someone had smacked a child, if someone had smoked cigarettes around a child, like there are so many things people would be like, well, that's their business. But about weight, we
Right.
come for a kid.
Right.
It's really messed up, y'all. And it kind of segues into the next topic that we have, because it's Pride. Happy Pride, Nikki! Happy Pride!
Thank you.
Oh my God,
Thank
I wish I had a
you.
flag. I'd wave it. You're a grand old flag. You're a high flying flag.
and you're gay, and you're gay, and you're gay.
Rainbow. So I might have. Anyway, I might have to listen back to that to make sure I hit the L in flag hard enough. I actually might have not, because
That would make the song even better.
not for me to say. Someone else could do it. Sorry about that if I did that accidentally. I got swept away. But it's
I'm going to
Pride.
be saying that for the rest of the day.
I love Pride. It is so fun to see all my friends like just bust out. I have very loud friends, proud friends. I love seeing all the fashion. It's like one of my favorite things to search for on Instagram, to retweet. There's like so many gorgeous, especially lesbians out there, like making it happen.
Oh, yeah.
And like all kinds of non-binary folk. But I like the ladies. So I like what they wear. So but the gays are holding it up too. I don't want to take anything away from them.
Oh, yeah.
And our bisexual brothers and sisters, there's many more.
Everybody's showing up.
Yeah,
you know?
everyone's really
it's
showing
just,
up.
Yeah.
So, I created a hashtag. Do you like it? We didn't even talk about
We
it.
didn't talk about it.
Hashtag fat out and proud.
I love it.
Tag plus this and hashtag fat out and proud. I will search that and I will retweet you. I will repost you. I do all the things, all the repost things, because
because I forget.
because I really love Pride Month, and I think it's important that everybody's seen. So, and then there was this great article that was 2 professors talking about having fat pride. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it might not be the appropriate conversation to have. And I also know that especially lesbians are such a huge part of the fat movement. Mm-hmm. Should we have a fat pride?
I think that what it does, like Gay Pride Month coincides with summer starting. It's June. We're now starting to we need to wear fewer layers. and it coincides with a time of year that fat bodies are most targeted and most abused by people in their comments and their stares or whatever, and where fat people feel the most self-conscious.
Yeah.
Summertime, people are hot. We want to take off all the layers, but we've been told that our arms are too fat and that we can't show our bellies and that we have to keep pants on because you can't show our fat thighs. And so it's a bunch of beautiful big bitches walking around hot as fuck because we feel like we're not allowed to show our bodies. And so what was so great about this article is it highlights the fact that, like, just like gay folks have to sort of embrace and take pride in our identities as queer people, you know, those of us who are living in big bodies, part of how we sort of take up space and reclaim our lives is to just be proud of the body you're in. And it doesn't mean that you have to be 100% happy with yourself 100% of the time, because no one is.
Right.
But it means that, you know what? It's summer. I'm going to wear my arms. I'm not going to be hot so you can be comfortable.
Yeah. And if I need a certain day or week or month in, like, July, for example, the middle of the summer, if I need permission that a month gives me to let people know, oh, it's Fat Pride, so this is the month I get to be this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I definitely think that I have seen what Pride has done for people and getting them visibility.
Yeah.
And because, especially with like super fat people and infinite fat people not having visibility really at all, like zero zilch, I find it something that maybe people could get together and consider. By the way, this also might already exist, and I can't act like I've been around doing this forever.
True.
Like, literally, it's been a 3-year journey for me. So, and I know that people have been doing this since the 70s and like very actively. So there might already have been,
maybe it's out there and we don't know
just have
yet.
to bring it to public
And
consciousness.
It speaks to that whole idea that we talked about is there such thing as fat culture? This is something that Kathy and I have talked about privately, and we're still figuring out how to bring it to the show. But what's so great about having those months of awareness or uplift for subcultures, I hate that word, subcultures, but because we have, you know, Women's History Month and you know, Latin American cultural month and, you know, African American History Month, we have all these months, and Pride Month, those communities have a place where they can rally. They have a place where they can say, you know, this is where you can get more information. This is where, if you yourself identify in this way and don't have enough support, look, this is your month to go, you know, to be celebrated. So maybe there is something to the idea. Is there a fat culture that needs a fat, you know, a month of fat recognition?
I will say that I follow Historical Fats as an Instagram account.
As do I.
And there's a lot of information there that I did not know. And I think that a lot of times at least I will speak for myself. Dellany was just talking about it earlier, and I can't wait to talk to her about it. But like, we assume that the people in history are thin people.
We do.
And actually, there was like a whole thing with suffragettes about how like some of the biggest excuse the phrase, some of the most renowned people who like were at the like upstart of that, they they got pushed out because they were too fat to be in the materials. Like when photographs were happening, like they sort of took themselves out of the picture because the ideal suffragette was not a fat woman. It's really so like, and that was something, again, I learned from Twitter. Like, so I don't know. I think there is something there, because if we can't tack when bodies became marginalized, like, how can we then like undo that?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
We got to know our history.
We have to know our history
our
to make sure that
history.
we don't repeat it. And yeah.
That's a great conversation. I love you. Thanks for having that conversation with me.
Love you
And
too.
we have to talk about Fitbits. You have a Fitbit.
I have a Fitbit.
We got to talk about a Fitbit.
I have a Fitbit.
How'd you feel about this article?
Tell them about the article. So the article basically explains where the whole 10,000 steps a day thing came from.
Tell the people where it came from.
It apparently, the character for 10,000 in, what was that, Japanese?
Yeah.
Resembles a man walking.
I mean, when
Wait, I can't even react to it yet. I'm just going to let that sink. Let it sink in. The Japanese character for 10,000 looks like a walking dude. And so the people who created pedometers rather, were like, let's make 10,000 the step goal.
The goal.
No scientific basis for that. There is no actual health reason. There's nothing that says.
Guys, this isn't an article that was just like thrown around. This is like from the Atlantic.
And they be writing long ass articles. They be having them 8-10 page articles.
You gotta commit to your life.
And they had to research that shit.
And they will tell you at the beginning, they have a little ticker. It says 15 minutes to read. Hour to read.
Go to the bathroom first. Because you won't be, or take it to the bathroom.
Yes. Spend some alone time.
From the Atlantic. So we just trying to tell y'all.
This isn't like, some crap paper somewhere.
No, this is a for real thing.
This is a for real thing.
So we're all trying to get 10,000 steps on our damn Fitbits because of a Japanese character.
And the science is not there to back.
There's no science to back it up.
Is any. They were saying it's actually closer to like 3,000 if they were, but then they were like, for some people that's not true. And some people walking doesn't do it for them. They need to get their heart rate up higher and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, what it's highlighting is that, first of all, we cannot just jump on every bandwagon that comes along because a lot of them are full of shit. Now, I love my Fitbit.
I was going to say, but you love your Fitbit.
I love my Fitbit. I don't walk to the bathroom without my Fitbit on. I'm counting every step. Sometimes I just do this to make the steps come because, but I also have.
There's a prize of a ding or something.
There is. There is
God.
You get a badge.
God help me,
if
guys.
you get a badge if you meet your step goal. But my step goal is very reasonable. My step goal is 5,000 steps because I realize that the effort, like I don't have the, Dellany, stop laughing. I'm trying to tell them about why I don't do 10,000. I don't do 10,000 steps because the bitch is tired and I don't have time to figure out when to get 10,000 steps into my day. I work from home during the day, so I do walk around the house quite a bit, so I keep my Fitbit.
I'm sure she's laughing about the waving because you know what? That's wasted on a girl. It's all I'm saying. You ain't doing that anytime soon with no man.
There is a comedian. There is a comedian, and I don't remember which one it is, and I'll find out. But he did this whole thing about how his wife was like, did you wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. and run 2 miles? and he didn't run.
With this Fitbit on.
With his Fitbit on.
2 miles. That's good on him.
He worked hard on
Oh, my God. Okay. That all being said, we're finally just cutting it. And we're going to go to this awesome video. It's actually, what did I put first? I'm so delirious. I did this so late last night.
It's the trailer.
Oh, so Dellany has a new web series coming out. She's Too Fat. And we have a brand new trailer that no one has ever seen yet.
Really?
So we're going to show it right now. And then we'll have Dellany Peace in the hot seat.
Yes!
Really?
Killed it in the audition.
Laaaughed is the best I've ever had.
Such a pretty face!
I was fat in high school.
What are you, size 14?
I'm a size 16, but that doesn't even matter.
There's this whole body positivity trend happening right now.
I'm sick of these stupid diet commercials. Well, you know what? When I start going out on those auditions and booking them, I'm going to prove you and everybody else out there wrong.
Interesting.
Let's get your life. Dellany Peace is here, everybody.
Am I out of timeout now?
You're out of timeout.
You can talk now.
That was hard. hard. No, I couldn't stop laughing, so I had to like stare at the sheet of paper. I had to stare over here, and I was like, "Okay, don't look at them. Don't look at them. You guys are so funny." And you were, I was about to talk. And you're like,
It's like this bitch.
So just
was
FYI,
great. That was great.
Dellany and Kathy have known each other for a very long time. And the three of us work together in Fetch. And basically, we're a hot mess together.
Yes.
The three, like, we're just...
you're in for it.
Yeah.
yes.
We apologize in advance if we talk too fast and over each other and laugh a lot.
And you might want to, when the volume gets loud, you
Yeah,
might have
yes.
to... It's okay.
We'll try to back it up.
We'll
try
do
to
Oh
it.
back
yeah, I'll go to the other room. You can still hear me clearly.
Dellany, that trailer was amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
So good.
Thank you.
I love
I mean,
your music.
Thank you. No,
Yes.
it's been a team effort. So I'm saying thank you, but I'm speaking for like 6 other people. So thank you.
Really
and
good.
the guy who did that, like we didn't even give him notes. He learned my show so well, and he's in India, by the way, because when you're doing it indie style, you have to go to India to get your work done. Let's be honest. Fiverr is your best friend,
All right.
and we've never even met. And he knows my show so well. He did that, and I was like, no notes. You did it.
That's
you nailed
amazing.
it.
So
Yeah.
good. So
So
good.
yeah, he's great. His name's Mohan. Give a shout out
Hey,
to
Mohan.
Hey,
Mohan.
thanks for that.
So yeah.
Yes.
But anyway, thanks for having me. No, I was laughing because before your show started, Kathy said something about being hungry. You did, and I was like,
Yeah.
food, and I was like, let's talk about what we had for breakfast this morning. I had a cough drop.
I didn't even have a cough drop. I should eat one right now.
Okay, yeah,
No,
I mean,
literally
it's very
have the
filling.
water.
I had a very delicious, I had 2 slices of cheese toast and an orange and a lovely cup of tea.
Did you
Wow.
make
I
that?
also did not check my email this morning, and they did, and that's the difference.
Yeah.
I chose
That is
the
a
food,
difference, and
they chose work.
And you have a girlfriend who shops for you.
Yeah, she like
That is true.
Kim.
I am well taken care of.
Yeah, she's we don't have.
I got shit.
I got
shit.
I got a dog looking at me like,
got
what
a-
did she do
you
for
got a
me?
dog
It's
who's
true.
like,
and
what are you
she's
gonna
like,
do for me?
walk me, feed me, look at me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
I felt so bad texting you this morning.
Why?
Because it was early. It was early
Oh.
to start shenanigans.
No, we had stuff to do. We did. I didn't.
But I needed that trailer, and I needed that trailer. No, I really, really wanted that trailer to be shown. If you're listening on podcast, you should really go and watch
Watch
just
the
that
trailer.
segment.
Oh my gosh.
What minute is like the half hour spot? You should go.
And you know what? It's honestly just exactly what you did with Fatch, right? We are trying to make we are not trying. We are doing. We are making opportunities for ourselves because nobody else is going to make them, right?
Absolutely.
So I just felt such camaraderie with you when I'd never met you and someone referred me to you when you put out the Fatch, the Fatch audition. And I was like, was it an audition? Should I have said that?
It wasn't really an audition. It was a call.
It was a
a
call
casting
to
call.
our.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah. So no, but Nikki was on it. She was like, "We have to do this for ourselves."
Yeah.
And I was like, "She's on my page. We're gonna do this." And here we are.
And I'm so happy that you decided to do Fetch because when I got when your friend sent me your information, I was like, she's amazing. I want to work with her. I hope she says yes. Please say yes. Please say yes. Don't say anything stupid. Just be cool. Chill out. Be cool.
I love that Nikki lives this dual life.
I know, right?
She's nothing but cool.
Right.
Like I would never even understand that you have that part of your personality.
Right. Well, what's funny is after I found out about it and sent the information to you, I was going to go tell her about it, and she already knew. She was like, on it, did it, and you're late. You're late, Dellany. You're late.
Are you doing
You're
it?
basic. Yeah.
Are you doing it? I'm doing it.
I was like, this is really cool. Oh wait, she's already on it. Okay.
But Dellany, that's
Yeah.
because you do all the things. Like we're not even kidding about
You
you,
guys
and
do
your
too.
8
I don't
million
know why
jobs.
y'all are giving me
Okay,
the
hold
props.
up. I have to
Seriously.
let me ask you an actual question.
Oh, right.
So, at what point you've been in LA? How long?
13 years.
Yeah.
14
Because when
years.
you were 14, you came out here, and
She was 10 when she came.
was 10.
Pretty much. I was in my mommy's womb.
So at what point did you go, oh, I'm fat and I'm going to make that work for me?
Okay, that's a great question. Wow, what a great question.
I try.
Because I'm a host too, like you said earlier, and I'm like, I never ask great questions. This is good.
She's so great, guys. She's so full
Such
of
a
it.
great question. So, you know what? It was probably about a year. No. Like it was a couple years in, but like it's because I was still in this mindset that I had to make myself into what Hollywood was telling me they had to, and I was listening to them going, oh, you need to straighten your hair. Maybe you should consider going blonde. You need to either lose 50 pounds or gain 50 pounds. Like just too many things. A lot. Like, and again, you guys give me credit on taking good pictures. You don't look like your headshots. I hear that all the time. I'm like, I do look like my headshots. You guys are just mean, but your headshots are sexy and you're not. Like I've heard like for years, and then y'all will relate to this because you've gone through it. But every audition you go, not every, but most auditions I've gone into, I was like, I'm too smart for this. Like, why am I pretending to be miserable about who I am? You know what I mean? For a role that's not even worth it.
Right.
It's not worth it. I'm not working with like Ava DuVernay, so I don't want to do the role that makes me look bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think Ava DuVernay is trying to make us look bad. And she's actually trying to help people, as we've seen recently, right? When they
Hey, Ava, if you need some help, we're here for you. We love you.
Exactly. So no, but like I just got so frustrated, and I was like, it was after my first web series called Two Hopeful Spinsters. And I had been working with other actresses, and I was hearing thin actresses say that they were fat. And I was like, and they were saying it as if it was negative, right? And I was like, if y'all think y'all are fat, what do you think about me? Like, I'm taking up all the space. And I mean, I was like, you know what? I've had it. I'm going to embrace the curves. And, and then I'd gain more weight, and I was gaining more weight, and nobody believes me, but I was getting happier as I was getting fatter. I was like, whoa, I'm starting to like fit into my skin, because I've always been uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable smaller. I don't know if you guys ever have gone through that.
Absolutely.
But like, it's just you don't feel like you, and you're worried about the calories you're consuming and what you're eating, and you really do only eat a cough drop for breakfast. like, you know what I mean? And it's just so much mind
space.
Yeah. So I just, I finally was like, F this. You know what? I'm going to be who I am, and either you're going to like it or you're not. And now that I knew what it took to be a producer, a creator, a writer through that first web series, I was like, I got this. Just make my own stuff, and people will come to it, right? If you make it, they'll come. Is that the saying?
If you build it,
But you could say make.
If you make it, if you build it, if you bake it, if you drive it,
I will show up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's great. I feel like when I got here, there were so few people that were as open as you about their bodies and how they fit in or didn't fit in here. And I felt like everybody else was having some kind of conversation that was like on the DL. Like, it's like everyone was like, well, that's like, you're a character person. And I'm like, I wish that like people would even consider me for that. Like,
right.
You were, I love that your trailer talks about being too pretty and too fat at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I do think that although we have pretty privilege, all of us, I would say, in the world for sure, people are kinder to us because we're pretty.
Absolutely.
I think in storytelling here, straight cis white males think that if you're a character person, you should not be pretty.
Amen.
And
it's so true. Well, that's why, and it's funny because the guy I never met who edited this together, he called it like, we are too pretty, we are too smart, we're too everything. And the way it's written out here, our narratives, what they want us to be, they don't want us to be smart, they don't want us to be pretty. Nothing's matching up for people. It's been a problem for casting directors.
Yeah.
Not all casting directors, all casting directors' lives matter. I feel like we have to say that. But
I had an amazing audition for the first time in ever yesterday. Like, I'm so on like a hopeful. I've never felt more hopeful. Like, that's how brilliant that. So just knowing that it can be that way, like, it
gives you that.
I mean, it's like the
Wouldn't it be great if
cheese
it was
that
every
you
audition
chase.
though that you felt like that?
No,
you know what I mean?
It should be.
Yeah, it's such a sliver. And then I also didn't really like myself because I was lying to social media and acting as if auditions were fun. Right? I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm going to be very public about how shitty they were. Like, I don't even care if I get the job or not, because I'm like, you know what? You guys screwed me over.
Who wants to work with people like that?
Yeah.
Who wants to work with people who are shitty?
And the fact that they look at, like you said, because we're all, we are very attractive women, but they don't like that. They're like, your body doesn't match up with your face.
Well, all of the
To
casting,
them,
yeah.
Right?
The casting breakdowns say unattractive, sloppy,
Right.
Matronly, all of these things. that are pseudonyms for fat.
Yes.
And they might say curvy or they might say obese or whatever, but they don't expect when you walk in that you should be an attractive person. So like, I mean, we've had
throws them
conversations about like, you know, like, why bother wearing makeup? Because all they really want is like, they want someone. So, and I've started saying no to casting, you know, to auditions where I'm like, you know what? I'm not that.
Right.
I don't even know how to pretend to be like a mousy, scared,
Right.
like
How do you-
unfortunate.
Right.
That's not your energy.
Who
Like,
had
that's
sex
not who I
once
am.
who was
Energy.
pregnant.
Right,
I mean,
right.
that's my favorite is when it's like she never had sex the first time she ever had sex. She got pregnant and the guy left her. I mean, that was like the worst. And that was like a popular show that went on for a long time, guys.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, and that wasn't just the first. Like that has happened several times.
Yeah.
Like they keep thinking they're reinventing something and they're so not. No. Let's talk about your work with the JTC list though, because
the JTC list.
I really want to talk about. I know that Nikki's been working with you on that too, and I feel like it definitely deserves a moment. Let's give it a moment.
Yes, I am proud to practice my allyship with the JTC list. And one of my very good friends, Cheryl Bedford, she is the founder and executive director. She named it after her amazing mother, Joan Teresa Curtis, who was also an activist. And there's also, to be clear, there's the JTC list where you can find women like Nikki, women of color like Nikki on the list, very talented, beautiful women. But it's also Women of Color Unite, right? Nikki knows all about it because she's on it. But there's a lot going on, and Cheryl just founded this in February of 2018, and it has exploded. There has been this huge need for it. There's over 650 women of color on there.
And what is the list of?
Okay, it's actresses, it's directors, it's editors, it's writers, like everything you can think of to crew and cast up on your film. It's provided right there because the need was there. Hollywood, I'm just gonna say Hollywood, but we really know what that means.
I know what that means.
Yeah. They were saying that there weren't women of color to hire.
Right.
There's just not. They don't know about them. There's just not out there.
We would be hiring more women writers and directors and producers and key grips if they were there.
We just don't.
We
they
just
aren't
don't
We don't
there.
know them.
Yeah.
And so Cheryl put this list together.
Yes.
That started with what, like 100 names?
Oh my gosh. Like it exploded immediately. Again, this was February 2018. We now have over 650 women on there. And that doesn't even include the group we're in, the Facebook group. There's 1,700 and growing every day. And there was a need for that because if you guys have noticed, when we talk about inclusivity, we talk about women and we talk about people of color, but nobody was talking about women of color.
Right.
Like, so when you think women, you think like you're probably going to think about white women, let's be honest. And then when you think of people of color, you're thinking of men, right?
Usually black men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So Cheryl was like, okay, well, about women of color. So, I mean, this has just been so incredible to be a part of. And I am just so happy about it. And Cheryl is all over this town. She's making a difference.
It's an amazing resource. There's an email list where people post jobs and opportunities for meetings. Cheryl has arranged for people to have meetings with big studios, big production companies. And then on the actual Facebook group, there's a lot of support, both professional and personal. And it's really great. It's like a great place to
And
come.
you utilized it for your show.
What did I do?
You utilized it.
I
for your
did.
show.
I was like, what did I do? No, absolutely. No,
You walk the walk.
And
You're not just volunteering for them or working with them.
Right.
You actually are like using it.
Oh no! I mean, that's where the work. I mean, the talent's there. I basically crewed up She's Too Fat with women of color. Like Matt. Now it's just said Matt. I'll have to explain Matt. But he did a whole thing where we have percentages and everything. There were hardly any.
He's your producing partner.
Yes, he's my producing partner. He's my writer's eye. But he did a whole thing. But basically, I think we only had like one or two white guys on set, but everybody else was a woman and basically woman of color. And it was such a great, successful set.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it was incredible. And we're doing a lot of good things. I'm just really proud of it. And I'm honored to be able to practice my allyship towards that. And I keep saying practice my allyship because your future husband, Matt McGorry, he Kathy's future husband, Matt.
I don't know what you mean.
Another Matt.
So weird.
Yeah, he had a great point one day when he was, after he got off the phone with you, he said, Dellany, we're not allies.
wiped his
It's
mouth
not.
first.
We can't say we're allies. We're saying we're practicing our allyship. Because it's true.
Right.
Like, I think we get lazy to think that we are doing.
Oh,
we
no,
are,
no, no. It is
right?
for sure a practice.
and
it
then
is sloppy and
it is,
messy.
yeah.
Like, I think if you say, like, I am an ally, you're just putting a badge on yourself. Like,
Right.
see? Like,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like a sketch we did where a character I played said, I volunteered for Doctors Without Borders for a year. What does that even mean? This is an everyday thing where we practice our allyship.
Yeah. And it's not about just saying that you're an ally. It's to practice. So like sort of the ideology and the practice together is
Right.
called your praxis.
Yes.
And so you are, I know this because of
Praxis.
graduate school. I have a
yeah.
seminary degree that I don't use,
Praxis.
so I use it where I can.
I'm in praxis right now.
So I think it's a really an amazing thing to see in action, because as a woman of color, I have, there's like a world of people talking about how they have our backs, but you're like, but how?
Where's my
Right.
job?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Where my gig at?
Yeah.
But and I think one of the things that's so amazing about what you're doing is that you immediately not only saw a way to help, but then like just you go out of your way to include us, like you really work so hard to sort of not just take advantage of and have opportunities for yourself, but to have opportunities for like the people around you, which is like not. It's just amazing, and it's
Okay, I'm
Great.
gonna honestly, I'm not amazing. I thank you that you said that. I mean, I am amazing, but I want you to know that like marginalized people my whole life have been good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know this, and they've always consistently been good to me, right? And because of that, I've never forgotten that. So, like, I can't say, I don't know who I would be if I had not had people in marginalized communities be good to me my whole life, right? But they always accepted me. Whereas my white people community, they did not accept me. They just never have. So it's just, to me, been my, like, oh, this is what we do. Yeah. Like, I feel very connected to, people of color, even more so than I feel connected to white people. Not you, girl. This girl.
It's all right. You can keep me on the outskirts.
This girl. But no, I'm telling you, it has been life experience living in the South, not being accepted in what is supposedly my community, right? Yeah. And knowing that people of color have always been nothing but kind and good to me and my family. Yeah. And I'll never forget that.
And we need more white allies, folks. Like, we need more people who are like
practicing allyship.
Who are practicing allyship and doing it in real ways and
Well, and it's been weird too, because I see people of color thanking white people who post something on Facebook. And I'm like, y'all don't need to thank them. They should. First of all, that's not enough.
Yeah.
First of all, it's a post. You took 2 seconds.
Right.
Right? And I get the raising awareness, but what is that person doing in their walk? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, don't thank them. They say do more. I expect you to do that. Yeah. Do more.
Yes.
It's actually a good point. Like the people who like thank fathers for taking care of their kids.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
what you're supposed to do, right?
It's like that
yes.
joke.
Oh my God. Or people who see the dad with the kid and they're like, you're babysitting. And it's like, no, that's actually like
his job.
His daddy thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we have to push on, and I want to show everybody your amazing work in Fatch. Dellany not only acts in this sketch, but she wrote it, and I want to talk about it when we come back. So we'll be back at play.
I've submitted the script to interested contacts at some of the biggest agencies.
2 words and a letter. I love it. It's very original to have a plus size in the lead role without being the butt of the joke.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And so, speaking of the leads, if I get a bite, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna pitch.
Stop the presses. You have got to get to Ashley's people to see if she can do it. She's so hot.
I was thinking it'd be more empowering to have someone who wasn't, quote unquote, hot.
Don't get your kneeling shoulder panties all in a bunch. You have to see the trees for the forest.
I'm sorry, but trees? I don't. What?
Get Ashley. She's so hot.
So they sent me out for Toyota? Like, I'm not a Toyota person.
Ashley
that.
Graham. This hand, Dellany. this hand is everything.
So that was called Ashley Graham, that
Yes.
sketch.
Ashley Graham.
And that person you're playing was based on a real person.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about her?
Well, this you mean the character
The character
I played?
you
or
played,
Oh,
yeah.
right. Well, okay, so it was said to me. Like, so basically, it's funny because we'll get credit sometimes for writing, but I'm like, oh, I just wrote down what I heard. Like, but it was said to me when I was telling a person, a coworker, hey, yeah, well, I'm doing this and I'm doing that and I'm writing this and I'm actually writing it for me, and he didn't hear any of this. Like, he was just like, oh, you know who you have to get. You have to get Ashley Graham. You just have to. She's so hot. And I was like, I just told you I was writing for me. So, and then, there's other women out there who are not Ashley Graham. But he wasn't the only person who said that. Like, it's mind-boggling that when anybody conjures up the image of plus size, they're conjuring up the image of Ashley Graham. Which is cool, but she's not the only person.
She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's great, but she's not the only.
I'd love to kick it
person
with her, but she's not the only person.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So I was just like, there was a lot of probably therapy in writing that, and Gloria did such a great job. Like,
She
Gloria,
really did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
She really did.
Yeah, but it's not only Ashley Graham, everybody. Like, it's too lazy to me to think that everybody's like, oh, Ashley Graham plus size. There's plus size representation. There's Ashley Graham.
Right.
It's like when
We
another
get
guy
one
told me,
person.
oh, you have female representation in movies. Remember the Hunger Games? I mean, you guys are getting everything. The Hunger Games with Jennifer Lawrence.
The Hunger Games.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I don't understand. Who was the plus size person in the Hunger
Well, he
Games?
just
He's
meant
saying
female
women.
representation.
Oh.
So he was like, you guys are, because I was like, there's not enough strong female characters in film, TV, media, blah, blah, blah. There's facts and evidence. He goes, no. You have the Hunger Games, and it's doing great.
Because I thought you were talking about like fat visibility. I'm
Yeah.
like in a
No.
movie called The Hunger Games, we not being represented, okay? Because we to bring a sandwich games, okay? I'm bringing a hoagie.
I mean, but fat people are hungry too. Like, fat people, like, not to take it to a too serious thing, but fat people have eating disorders. Fat people can be anorexic.
I
Fat
love
people
that
can
you're
be-
bringing this up. It's almost like you read our run of show.
What?
Thank you for taking us to the
That's
next
so
point.
crazy.
How cool are you?
Segue.
Yes, that came up and was a hot topic for our viewers. So let's really talk about this. So
Cool.
there was an article, I believe it was in England, that there was a study done, a poll about women and men, but I think the number swayed to women greater, that they weren't being taken seriously if they didn't not hit a certain number.
So not being taken seriously as an anorexic
Yes.
if they weren't small enough.
Right.
So
Yeah.
now, and the idea being that you couldn't possibly be anorexic in a larger body.
Yeah, or bulimic.
Or
for that
bulimic
matter.
or eating disordered at all, right? But we're calling bullshit on that
Right.
because eating disorders don't really care, what your body looks like.
No.
And I myself identify as someone with an eating disorder, and
me too.
so I'm like, the idea that you have to, so much of how we end up with eating disorders is about the diet industry and about the idea, the ideals we have culturally around size. And so we end up halfway killing ourselves trying to get smaller. And here they are telling us we can't get treatment because we haven't achieved the
Right.
level of smallness
Right.
that
diet industry has.
like somehow we aren't killing ourselves enough.
Right.
Like you have to kill
Yeah.
yourself harder.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
in. I'm not afraid to say it. I've said it before. I've been in 12-step program for that. And,
Me too.
I once heard a share from a girl, and she was always really fun and really funny, and she was really wrecked this day. And she said, I come from here from another program, and I always thought that this was my core thing. And she's like, and I just realized that the reason why I started taking cocaine was because I wanted to be thinner. So the reason why she had and almost died a drug addiction was because she wanted to be thinner body.
That's a
And
really, really common scenario.
and it was, and she was shook because it had never really occurred to her. She had just she's like, I was wondering why it was so hard to quit cocaine and not quit my eating disorder. And she was like, and then it occurred to me, oh, it's because this is actually my root.
Right.
And that is bananas and also not uncommon. And also we're in an OA meeting where there are a lot more plus size women than there are thin women. Although there are thin women who also overeat.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So you said you had your own experience with that.
Oh yeah. Well, it's funny because I left that out earlier when you were asking me like when did I accept my fatness in Los Angeles. Well, I could feel the toxic group of women who I was friends with back then. They were affecting like my past, and I did have eating disorder. I was bulimic, and I did a lot of awful things, and I could feel out here the pull of getting me back into those old habits. And I just didn't want to, it's funny because I just talk about my mama all the time. And I was like, I can't do this again. I'd break her heart. I love my mama so much. And one time she told me, and this was in the middle of my crap in high school when I had an eating disorder. She said, I have I have plots, cemetery plots. Not to take it here, but this is the South. We talk about death a lot. And she said, and I have an extra one. And I have a special needs sister who wasn't expected to live long, but God bless, she's still here. But at that time, we didn't know. And Mom said, this plot was originally for your sister Desiree, but it's going to have to be for you if you keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this I just can't do this anymore. And I didn't want to go back to those awful things that I used to do to try to achieve thinness, which I've never achieved. I think whatever that means, I think I was that in the 3rd grade. That's like the last time that happened for me. And I just don't want, I didn't want it. I was like, it doesn't feel good. It's always so stressful to be something that you're naturally not intended to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've got a lot going on in that as well, in that area as well. And so I do think about it. I'm never tempted like I used to be, but it's still in the back of your head. Like, this is a lot of unconditioning that we have to go through.
So much.
We have to unpack so much as
and
women,
you don't even unpack it once. You do it over and over and over throughout your life. You're always sort of, I know for me, I'm always questioning, like, what am I eating and why am I eating it, and does my body hurt, and and should I go on a diet? And it's crazy because I am so certain that dieting again will kill me. Like, I understand that emotionally and physiologically another diet would do severe damage to me. And yet I still have the thought, oh, but if I could just, or maybe I would feel better, or and I know that I'm not going to go on a diet, and I know but I think at this point, like, you're kind of I'm still having to, like, after years and years of therapy, combat the ever-present voice of because what doesn't go away is the fact that we live in a society that tells us that we are not okay the way we are. And so even in the moments where I'm walking around feeling like a badass, because most of the time I do walk around feeling like a badass, but when I'm walking around feeling like a badass, there's that moment late in the day when, now I'm tired and, and I'm wondering if my body is, like, going to keep up with me. And I'm like, maybe I should just one more time count a calorie. Right. To save myself, to save myself from a life of horrible obesity, Lord. But I'm just kidding. But no, it's like a constant thing that you're kind of working on undoing the mess that was made of our minds.
No, really,
and that because the culture hasn't changed.
Right.
Yeah.
We've changed our response to it, but the culture hasn't changed.
Well, and also the lies we've been told, like obesity, and fact check me, ladies, fact check me, world. Obesity is not even in the top 10. It's not even in the top 15 or 20 of the killers of what is killing people.
No,
it's not. And everybody thinks
it's been attributed to it. And by the way, like, obesity itself as a word means to eat oneself big,
right?
And that's actually not true. Like, that's not what people do.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
we have
to.
So I just want to offer to people out there who might be into this conversation, wanting it to continue. We love our Instagram account. We love our Facebook account. Please keep talking to us. Thank you for those of you who did share your experiences already. There are great resources and great health at every size doctors who are dealing with eating disorder patients, dietitians, nutritionists. They're out there. I repost them a lot. Our Instagram account has a ton of them, but if you go, they all support each other, and I highly recommend you going if you feel like help, because it is not just there are places of safety, and it's not the news is not all bad.
No.
Which is what is great is that these numbers are coming to light where we wouldn't even talk about them before.
Amen.
We have to wrap up, which is insane.
What?
I
there's
know.
so
We
much more. We didn't even get to
No.
everything.
I know. You have so many Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts. Can you just start rattling some off for us, please?
I mean, okay, that's okay. I know I have too many. I have so many
it's not
that
too
IG,
many.
I told Kathy,
I don't have the memory.
No, IG told me to stop. They actually personally said, you stop there.
You cannot have
too
any
many-
more Instagram.
No more
Yeah.
accounts for you.
Yeah. So, okay, there's a
Where's
little
the best
different-
place?
Oh, well, you can call me. My phone number is.
Girl, don't you even.
Okay, fine. Okay. So, okay, Instagram is Dellany Peace Original. Twitter is I am Dellany Peace. And then I have a Facebook page that's Dellany Peace. I have a website called Peace Not Quiet Productions. I have a lot of ways you can get in touch with me. You can't not get in touch with me.
Great.
You know what I mean? And the guy who got in touch with me from France yesterday, who is wanting to pay for me a ticket to go to France, would agree with that.
Oh,
snap.
I'm like,
She reads her DMs, y'all.
I do. I read my
just
DMs.
saying.
So
She just made it real. We didn't talk about, you know what, we'll save that for the after show.
Okay.
If you become a Patreon person,
Mm-hmm.
you get access to our after the show videos, and we're going to talk about Dellany's experience dancing for Lizzo, since we did not get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to just throw us a couple bucks a month, and you get access to all that fun stuff.
So you can fuck it up to the
tempo.
tempo.
So I'm on soulmate. Don't. I have the album now. We'll talk about that later. Yes. My favorite.
we need a whole Lizzo hour.
We do.
So
Yeah.
next week we have Dr. John Paul. They are amazing. Avid follower on Twitter. So fun.
If you are not following Dr. John Paul on Twitter, you are missing out.
He's a social justice educator. He's going to turn I'm sorry.
They. Pronouns.
I know. I'm
matter.
going to get there one day. It's Pride. I have
It's
to get
hard.
by the end of Pride, guys. I'll get my pronouns right.
And girls.
They're going to be amazing.
Just kidding.
People, by the end of Pride, people, we will get our pronouns and our gender references together.
So we're everywhere at Plus This Show. Please like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next Thursday at Plus This.
You guys are awesome.
Plus This.